Who is Frost's sister? And is she a bridge between worlds? In Wind and Truth, Wit turns to Frost's sister Frost and then Frost's sister for help, hoping that they can find a way to renegotiate Dalinar's contract with Odium. Now, Frost, as some people may know, is a dragon. He is one of the oldest beings in the Cosmere, and he was present at the shattering of Adonalsium. But his sister kind of comes right out of nowhere. So today, I want to talk about her, who she may be, where else we may have seen her, and why I think she may have had half dragon, half human children. And this theory definitely didn't start with me. Huge shout out to one of my viewers, DJB's Lectures, who kind of sparked some of the thinking that led me down this rabbit hole. Before we dive in, fair warning, major spoilers ahead for all of the Stormlight Archive up until the end of Wind and Truth, as well as Isles of the Emberdark, which is the latest of Brandon Sanderson's secret projects. Let's start with the moment that we first hear about her, which, as I mentioned, is in Wind and Truth, where Wit tries to communicate and does end up communicating with her through a bone, like a white bone, called a Tamukek. It's like a device that dragons use to communicate across distances. Here's the excerpt. Wit says, I realized earlier that I might have missed something. So, I sent a request to one of the best contract negotiators that I know. Frost. Tall fellow, big as a house, actually. Sharp teeth. Fondness for chastising me, which shows he has good judgment. He refused to help, as he insists he will not intervene, but his sister is as smart as he is, and she listened. I read her the contract, and she needed access to the Alethi legal code, and so that's what I've been doing for the past few hours, reading her the laws, talking her through it, and asking for her explanations. Now, we meet Frost in Isles of the Emberdark, and we meet his niece, Starling. And so I think it's a reasonable theory that Frost's sister is Starling's mother. Now, to be fair, Frost could have had more than one sibling, so it doesn't have to be Starling's mother, but I do think that the timeline sort of kind of fits together, so I want to talk that through for a second. As a reminder, Isles of the Emberdark is set in the future following the events of Wind and Truth. So if Starling's mother is Frost's sister, it might explain why she's been missing from Starling's life following her assistance to Wit in Wind and Truth. In Isles of the Emberdark, it's repeatedly mentioned that some sort of misfortune befell Starling's parents. So could it be possible that Retribution sought out Frost's sister / Starling's mother in retribution for her assistance to Wit? Could she have continued helping Wit more than just that one scene, putting herself in harm's way as a result? She would be a formidable ally for Wit. He's been begging for assistance from the dragons for years, all the way back in Way of Kings. And so she might be the dragon that responds and then suffers the consequences. There's another angle to this, which is, what if Frost's sister married a human? It's repeatedly stated that Starling is a product or child of two worlds. And that phrase might not be just poetic, it could be literal. Starling is leucistic. Her pale coloring is incredibly rare. In fact, it's only seen twice in dragon history. And so, like a white tiger, she is born from kind of two different recessive traits. And so what could those two worlds be? It's possible to me that it could be the Fane and the Unfane, i.e. dragons and the humans, and that might explain why her condition is so rare. The Fane and the Unfane, or the dragons and the humans, do have a long history of rivalry, making their unions almost unheard of. And in Isles of the Emberdark, remember, it's explicitly stated that dragons mate and give birth in human form. So biologically and logistically, it is possible. If all this is true, then Frost's sister isn't just some mysterious background figure that we briefly meet in Wind and Truth. She's a trailblazer, a dragon who defied the ancient policy of non-interference, a mother who bridged the gap between two species, and someone that may have paid a heavy price for helping Wit in his war against Odium and Retribution. So what do you think? Is Frost's sister Starling's mother? And is Starling half human herself? Let me know your thoughts and theories in the comments, and if you enjoyed this kind of rabbit hole, hit like and subscribe for more Cosmere content. Thanks, everyone.